right, let's start because we have lots to go through this morning. I will continue admitting everybody, but I just want to introduce Lucy. Lucy Richardson is going to be our presenter this morning, and she's going to talk about what we can expect in the year of the tiger this year. Hi, Lucy, how are you?
Hi, Susan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everybody. I'm very well, thank you.
Are you excited for the year of the tiger as much as I am?
Now I am. Yes. Now that it's coming closer, I'm getting excited about it. Yes.
Well, Lucy has been doing all of our Feng Shui talks for the last 5 years. Isn't that right, Lucy?
At least 5 years. It might have even been a bit longer.
Yeah, I know, right? Actually, 5 years has been my time, but actually you've done it before I came in, so it has been longer than that. So let's start, Lucy. For those who are tuning in this morning and do not know you, because I know some people who are tuning in from Australia and even from America this morning. So for those who don't know you, can you just give a short intro and then we start the presentation, Lucy?
Yes, of course. Yes. So I'm Lucy Richardson. And oh, sorry, I just moved my, let me just move Susan's picture back to the top so I can try and look at the camera. Right. Okay, so I'm Lucy Richardson and I am your Feng Shui consultant today. I've actually been, my interest in Feng Shui started a long time ago. But when we moved to Singapore in 2007, that was really the event, when Feng Shui started to come back into my life. Because I met Lillian Tu, who is a very famous Feng Shui author and practitioner, and teacher. And so when I met her, I thought, wow, I really want to pick up Feng Shui again and learn more about it. So I went on a training course with Lillian Tu in Kuala Lumpur in 2008. So I didn't waste much time after arriving in Singapore. And then 2 years later, I did her second course. Again, I went back to Kuala Lumpur to do the second course, which is the Master Consultants course. And this is what qualifies me to practice as a Feng Shui consultant. And following that, I've set up my business, Feng Shui Focus, my consultancy. And so that's been running just over 10 years now, which is quite exciting, really, to think of that. It's been 10 years already. And it's great. I mean, I still love what I do. And I'm really excited also to have such a big gathering today, and speaking to so many of you today. So thanks for tuning in. And during the presentation, I mean, if you have any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat box. And then Susan will monitor, the questions. And I'm happy to answer questions in between as we go along. And of course, also at the end of the talk. Right, shall I start, Susan?
Yes, go for it.
Right, okay, well, you're all here to learn about the year of the tiger. So I suspect, hold on. So I suspect you know about Feng Shui, but for those who are, anyone is really very new to the topic, just a very brief introduction. Feng Shui comes from China. It's a very ancient Chinese wisdom. It's not a religion and it's not a superstition. I prefer to call it wisdom or even a science, because there are quite a few formulas that we work with in Feng Shui as well. It's basically the study of qi. Qi is a word for energy. So it's the study of energy flow in the living environment and harnessing the positive energies to support and influence life. And Feng Shui is based on the theory of yin and yang, which I'm sure you've heard about, like the dark and the light and the noisy and the quiet. It's all the contrasts, the yin and the yang. It's based on the 5 elements and how they interact with each other. And it's also based on the concept of qi, the energy that is intangible, but something that, you feel all around us. So my own definition of Feng Shui really is that Feng Shui is the purpose to optimize the energy flow in our surroundings, where we live and ideally also where we work, to help us create the life we want to live. Because by optimizing the energy flow in our surroundings, the energy will support us, and that will help us to achieve our goals and make our dreams come true. So to learn about the Feng Shui for this year. All right, sorry, I was jumping ahead. So bad Feng Shui can cause breakups in relationships. It can cause loss of wealth and income. It can bring misfortune and illness. It can block your success, and it can dry up your career opportunities. So that's just a list I've made of the most common problems people have in their lives when they suffer from bad Feng Shui. But most of the times, you can do something about this. So don't despair. Whereas on the other hand, good Feng Shui can bring wealth and prosperity. I'm sure we've all heard that. And it can bring good health. It can also improve your health. If you fix the Feng Shui in your home, it can improve your health. If that's, if you're having health issues, it can create harmony. It can bring good and influential people into your life and new friends, which I always find very important. And it can also create opportunities for you. Now, it'll still be up to you to then seize these opportunities and make something out of them. But at least, by having the right environment around you, you're giving the opportunities an opportunity. Sorry, that's bad, bad phrasing. But you are creating, the right atmosphere, the right energy, so that these opportunities can come up in the first place for you to take advantage of and build on them and, use them. Now, this is the chart for this year. It's called the Annual Flying Stars chart. And the Annual Flying Stars, this is what represents the energy of the year. Some smart person a long time ago came up with this system to use numbers to describe the energy. And they're just called stars because the energy changes, the energy shifts. So there is always a major energy shift at the beginning of the year. And with that, I mean the beginning of the Chinese New Year, not our calendar year, it's the Chinese New Year, that's significant. So there is always a big shift in energy, and the energy never stands still. I mean, it moves every month, it moves every day. I mean, it moves all the time. And I guess this is why it's called the flying stars, because if the stars in the sky, they move around in their system. And so like this, the energy also moves constantly. So the numbers, each of the numbers has a different meaning, and they have different attributes. So the red numbers are the so-called affliction stars. So this is what brings bad energy. And the black numbers are the good stars, the positive stars that bring auspicious energy and good energy. And I will now explain these numbers one by one. And this is how we cover the whole chart and the energy for the year. So that means basically activating the right numbers can help you achieve your goals for this year, 2022. Now, the question I always get asked is, how do you apply this chart? Now, I'm showing you here a random floor plan, and I'm using my mouse to try and illustrate things. So you start by, you need to have your floor plan, otherwise it's a bit too difficult. So you start by drawing a line around the outside walls of your floor plan. You want to create a rectangle or a square. Most of the times it'll be a rectangle. So here in this floor plan, you see down here, there is a terrace. So don't worry if it like cuts in or something like that. You don't follow the line of the house. Remember, you need to create some sort of rectangle. Because what you then need to do is you need to divide this into 9 equal grids. So you have 9 equal fields inside. And then you find your center, you find the middle of your apartment, which in this case is here. So there's a corridor, and this is part of the kitchen. And then what I would like you to do is you stand somewhere in the middle and you look to the front of your apartment. I mean, you know your space, you know where it is. Like in this place here, this down here, that's like the facing direction. This is the part of the house that looks onto the garden and where the most windows are. And so here in this center area, you want to find a spot where you can stand with the back against the wall to help you, to help your body be straight, because very often, you might just twist slightly when you take the readings. So having your back against the wall will help you stand straight. Now, in this case, I would suggest you stand with, the back against this cupboard, even if it's not strictly speaking in the center, but I mean, it's very close and you are facing the right direction. And that's where you take your compass reading. Most people use a smartphone nowadays, which is fine. But if you have a compass, it would actually be better. But if you use a smartphone, it's okay. Just make sure you don't have another person with another smartphone next to you, because the phones kind of communicate with each other and that might interfere. So if you do have a compass, it's better. It doesn't have to be a fancy compass, just a small compass from a hiking shop or something, will do to take your compass reading. Now, in this case here, I've taken a reading here at the terrace door, which shows that the direction down here is the southwest. And this is the same direction as when I'm standing here. When I stand here, I also look towards the southwest. So that makes this middle grid down there your southwest sector. Okay. And then we have...
Lucy, I have a question.
Yeah.
One lady is asking flying stars. So do the numbers equal importance, or is it just a list? I am assuming they equal importance, right?
No.
Oh.
It's not a ranking. They just use numbers 1 to 9 because these are the pure numbers. Once you get into 10 and double digits, that's a combination of 2 numbers. So it's not a ranking, the 1 to 9. It's really just the symbolism, which I'm going to explain.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, right. And coming back to the floor plan. So so looking at your facing direction, you can find out your sector. And I was going to say, here on the right, you see up here, there's stairs coming down. This is the main entrance here to the apartment. So to be sure, you don't want to rely on just on one compass reading. You take another 1 or 2 compass readings. So I always advise my clients, if they take their own readings, or I also, when I go and visit the readings, I always take a reading at the main entrance as well. So you open the door behind you, you stand in the door and you look out, you look to the outside and take another compass reading there. So in this case, it says southeast. It actually says southeast 1, but you can forget about the 1. So when you're here, all this side is the southeast side, which makes the middle grid your southeast. And this is then how you can fill in your compass sectors by going, in the clockwise direction. You can fill in your compass sectors. And you have once you've done that, you have your chart. And then you look. So here at the entrance, we are in the east sector, right? So you look in the chart. East here is the number 3. So the number 3 goes here. I haven't filled in the numbers, but this is, that's how, that's the system. Next one, southeast is part of the bathroom, part of the bedroom. Southeast is here. So that's the number 4. The number 4 is here in the southeast. And then the south is the biggest part of the bedroom. Here we have the number 9. And this is how you carry on. So this is how you allocate the numbers to your own floor plan. So far, so good?
Yes, I always get really confused when you start showing this floor plan every year. Does it, so if I don't want to do it for my whole apartment, if I just want to do it for a room, is that still okay?
Yeah, you can. So you can also, this grid, what you're seeing here is called the big Tai Chi. So this covers the whole apartment. If you have a house, obviously you need to do this for each floor, for each level. And if you just want to do it for the room, say for example, here's the living room, you can also take the living room and divide that into the 9 grids as well. So you can draw your rectangle here and divide that into the 9 grids, and then you can shrink this into the living room, and you can use the same system and apply the enhancers, you know, because what you want to do, you want to enhance the good energy and you want to suppress the bad energy. So you can also do that just in your living room.
Okay, but for ultimate good chi result, you want to do it for your overall home.
You do. I mean, you really should look at the whole apartment. But then in cases like here, for example, you see the northeast, that's a storeroom, mostly a storeroom. And here we only have a little bit of the corridor. But the northeast, if you look here, has the number 8 star, which is the prosperity star. So that's a very good star. So that's a bit wasted here in the storeroom, right? So in that case, you then do what I've just explained. You apply the small Tai Chi in the living room, and you find your northeast sector in the living room, which will be around here, and then you can activate it there instead to make up for that.
Okay, yes, that's a good tip. So I suggest people to take a picture of how to apply this photo of what you're seeing now, because you might use it and might need it a little bit later once you start putting things together.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Lucy.
Good. Right. So now, also what's actually important about the chart for this year is that this chart brings us back to the original Lo Shu chart, which is the very first flying stars chart or Feng Shui chart that was drawn up. And that means that all the stars fly into their home sector, basically. So that makes them very strong. So the good thing is, like, the auspicious stars are even stronger than normal, which is great. But also the dangerous star, the negative stars are also very, very strong. So the dangers are also bigger than normal. So we need to really be, I think this is a year to be very careful because, yeah, the negative stars are also very strong. But anyway, we'll get to that through the presentation.
One more question, Lucy, before you move forward. Yeah. Is activating any particular room more important than other rooms, or you have to activate them all?
That depends. Obviously, it depends what you wish to activate. And then also, for example, you don't activate usually your bedroom, because the bedroom is a place for rest, for you to recharge and to rest. So you don't want to activate in the bedroom. In the bedroom, you should really only just make sure you cure if there's any negative energy. You must cure that, because you spend a lot of time in your bedroom. But you don't activate in your bedroom, because it can interfere with your sleep and it won't be so efficient and effective. So if you want to activate anything, focus on the common rooms, like the living room, dining room, or family room, or office, of course, especially office if you have a home office.
Okay, great. And just one more, how to activate the auspicious prosperity star in the room. I think you will go through this a little bit later.
We'll get there. Yes, we'll get there.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, right. Let's start. For somehow my arrows are not working, so I need to use the mouse. Okay, right. We'll start with the negative stars, because it's very important to, like I said, to cure or to subdue the negative energy first, because I mean, otherwise there's no point. You can't enjoy the positive stars, the good luck, if you are suffering from bad luck as well. So like if you're getting sick, if you don't cure the illness star, if you're sick, you can't enjoy the wealth you're creating, you can't enjoy the good things in life. So I always say, it's important to take care of the negativity. Don't just focus on the positive things you want to achieve, take care of the negativity too. So we're starting with the illness star, that's the number 2 star, and that flies into the southwest. So that's a serious affliction, because the number 2 star is very strong this year, and it directly affects the matriarch. So it affects all us mothers, are particularly affected by the illness star this year. So we need to be very careful and watch our health, because we all know what happens. If mom gets sick, the whole family suffers, right? So it's very important, all you moms out there, and if you have your own mother still around, please take care of your health and help your own mother, to take care of her health as well. And the illness star also directly affects those that are born in the years of the sheep and the monkey. Now, this is because each of the compass sector, I've got the grid again down here to remind us, each of the compass sectors, these sectors is connected to a family member, and the southwest is connected to the mother. This is why we mothers are particularly affected by the number 2 star. And it's also, each compass sector is home to 1 or 2 of the zodiac animals. So this is the connection why this year the sheep and the monkey are particularly affected by the illness star. And this is how this chart affects each family different, because each family, we all have different number of children, our children are born in different years, they are different zodiac animal signs. So this is how, like in a consultation, it becomes very individual, when I focus on the family, on my client. Right. Now, with the illness star, it's always, no matter where the illness star is, it's always, a good thing recommended for pregnant ladies and elderly people should not have the bedroom in the location of the annual illness star. And also people, if you already have bad health or health issues, it's the same. So if you can, it would be good if you can choose a different bedroom to sleep in this year, because you don't want to put yourself into this additional danger, by spending every night with a negative energy. That could potentially bring illness for you. And I don't really want to mention COVID. I'm a bit tired of COVID, to be honest, but still, COVID will still be around for a while, and it's a good reminder for everyone, for all of us, to continue to look out for our health in general. Now, if your house faces southwest, then you should also be particularly careful. Now, what do you do? How do you deal with the illness star? You want to subdue the illness star. You want to subdue, or you want to cure all the negative stars. So now you start by removing earth and fire elements from your southwest sector or your southwest room, because those 2 elements will make the illness star even stronger, and you don't want that. So you take these away from your southwest, and you keep the lights dimmed. Don't have any bright lights in your southwest, please. And as a cure, you can use metal element. So metal is the element that will weaken the illness star. And there are 2 ways usually of dealing with this, and I like to use a combination of both. So you can use the elements, and you can also use actual Feng Shui cures, which are usually objects and symbols that have been used for a long time. So it's really good to use a combination, but you can choose, you can see what works for you and for your home decor as well. Now, mentioning Feng Shui cures here, you can see in this picture, this is the new Wulu this year. It's the Wulu with joyous cranes. The Wulu has been around for a long, long, long time as a cure. It's a symbol of good health. It's often pictured with the god of health carrying a Wulu. And this symbol is used, to protect you from the illness star. And Lillian too produces a lot of products as part of her Feng Shui existence. And every year she designs a new Wulu. You don't have to, it doesn't mean you have to change it every year, but I'm just explaining this. This is the new Wulu for this year. It features the joyous cranes. And the crane is actually the bird of longevity and immortality. So this is the connection. You can also carry amulets to protect yourself while you're out. When you go out, it's very important, like if you go to work every day, or if you are taking your children to school, or children, who are out every day at school, to have protective amulets with them if they need them. I always used to I have 3 children, 3 boys. They're all at uni now, but when they were still here, but actually still now when they're not here, every year I give them like a handful of amulets, which is what they need, or each of them. So they are used to it. So the recommended amulets for the number 2 illness star are the Stay Healthy amulet, which is this first one here. It's basically a miniature Wulu. There is the Medicine Buddha amulet, which is this round one for good health and protection. And there is this Buddha Vairocana card, which would fit into your purse. So you can carry one of these with you when you're outside of your home to protect you. So it's particularly important for us mothers and also for the sheep and the monkey. Now, this is an example when I said earlier, you know, to use metal element. So you can use your own objects, your own home decor to add the element that you need. This is a picture a few years ago. Susan, remember we had the talk at Sam and Sarah in the Tan Boon Yat building. So this is where I took this picture of this drinks cart, and I loved it. I thought this looked so cool. So if you if you have something like that, or metal side tables like here, just be creative, look around your home. I'm sure you'll find something. Or if you have a sideboard with pictures, you can use metal picture frames. And when I say metal, metal is basically gold and silver, or the color white is also considered metal, or the color gray. So those are the things you want to place in your southwest to subdue the illness star this year. The next one is the quarrelsome star number 3, and that flies into the east. Now this star is quite an aggressive star. It brings arguments and disagreements, hostility, misunderstandings, and it can even lead to legal problems. So the quarrelsome star, it really hits you out of nowhere. From one day to the next, you can just find that you have a small disagreement with someone and it can just blow out of all proportions, and you wonder why. This is what this is what the number 3 star can do to you. It directly affects the oldest son, and it also particularly affects those that are born in the year of the rabbit. And people who spend a lot of time in the east will be more quarrelsome than usual. So look at your floor plan, you look at your home, find your east room. If this is somebody's bedroom, for example, then you can prepare yourself that that person will be more quarrelsome than usual. Or if your home office is in the east as well. And again, this is one of the stars you need to cure, you need to subdue. The first thing is to keep this area quiet. In fact, all the negative areas, you want to keep them quiet. Because if you have too much noise there or too much activity, that will activate the space, which is good if it's a positive sector, but if it's a negative area and there's too much noise and too much activity going on, it just aggravates the negative star and makes it even more aggressive. So try and keep that area quiet. Don't have your TV there, no radio or your hi-fi. If you play musical instruments, even if you have a piano in your house, which you think is a lovely thing to do, to play the piano, but even that can be too noisy for this sector. So try and move your piano to another spot if you can, and definitely don't have any parties in your east room. You should also remove wind chimes if you have any wind chimes there. And another useful tip is to remove plants from your east, because plants are wood element, and the number 3 star belongs to the wood element. So if you have any plants there, again, that will strengthen the number 3 star. It will give it more force, and you don't want to do that. So remove your plants from the east. And instead, you want to use fire energy. Fire energy will counter the number 3 star or will subdue the aggressive energy. So have bright lights. You can place a lamp in your east or in the east corner of your living room. Or if you have any red furniture pieces, that's why I put this picture here. If you have any red furniture pieces, move your furniture around and place something red in your east. The recommended amulets for you to carry are the magical cosmic amulet. cosmic apple, which is this one. So all the rabbits and those who spend a lot of time in the East or have the bedroom in the East should carry that. There's the Four Friends Talisman Amulet, which is this one with the elephant, monkey, rat, and rabbit and rat. These are the four friends. This will help protect your relationships, because if you're affected by the number 3 star, you're quite quarrelsome, and you might be quite difficult to handle and quite difficult to deal with. So carrying this amulet will protect your relationships and your friendships, and it will actually also protect you. Same for the red apple or all the amulets. It will protect you from other people's anger that might be directed at you. And if you're involved in any court case or court proceedings for whatever reason, be it some sort of argument with a neighbor or a divorce or anything, you can carry this amulet here with a big red flame to help you win your court case. You can also hang a red picture in your East. So that's another idea. Instead of moving furniture, you can hang a red picture in your East for this year. I love this one. I must admit, this Chinatown print is by Claire Huxby. She is an artist. She used to live in Singapore. That's where I met her. And I have to tell you, my husband actually bought me that print last year for our wedding anniversary. And I've kept it. I've just picked it up from the frame up because I kept it for this year. I didn't know where to put it last year because our wall space is pretty full actually. But I've picked it up from the framer, so it's ready now. And it's actually, I'm going to hang it on the wall behind me, because I'm in my home office and my home office is actually in the East. So, so I've been saving it. So I'm going to hang it up in my office this year. And I'll share pictures on my social media once I've done it, so you can have a look. This is also a good example. The other one, the Small Fiery Dragon, that's by Louise Hill, and she is also a Singapore-based artist. So it's just an example. I mean, obviously you can choose whatever you like, but I just wanted to give you some examples, and I'm trying to make it quite varied to try and, hit everybody's taste. And the Buddhas are always great. I think Buddhas are very popular too, at least here in Asia. A Buddha is always associated with calmness and peace. So that would also be really, really good, for your East sector this year, to just help keep everyone calm and to help, calm the energy. It can be a Buddha statue or a Buddha picture, whatever you prefer, or whatever, you have, or whatever works best for your space. And then we also have, there is a Feng Shui cure. This is the Wulu I've shown you before, except that this one is in red. So this red Wulu is also a very good cure to deal with the number 3 star. So you can just place that in your East instead. Or you can combine, The next one's a number 5 misfortune star, and that flies into the center. Now, this is the most dangerous star of all the negative stars. It can bring misfortunes in, many different ways, whatever misfortune you can think of. It can bring physical danger, severe illness, or even financial losses. And because it flies into the center of the chart, it dominates the chart, it dominates the energy of the year, and it also affects everybody. So we all need to be more careful this year. And it's definitely a star you want to cure in your home, because, as I said, it affects everybody, the whole family. It affects everyone who lives there. So again, you don't want to have fire element, and you don't want to have bright lights in your center. So if you have any lights there, remove them and keep the area as quiet as possible. So that means don't have any renovations in the center of your home. That's why I've kind of crossed out Bob the Builder in the picture. Don't do any knocking or no drilling, and outside in the garden, don't cut down any trees. These are all too noisy and far too aggressive actions. You don't want to do that in the center this year. You also want to remove earth element, because the number 5 belongs to the earth element. So you don't want to have earth element either in the center, including crystals. A lot of people have a crystal or some crystals in their home, which is great. Crystals can be great activators, and they can also help. Absorb negative energy, but don't have them in the center this year, because again, a crystal is a very strong earth element, which you don't want to have in your center. And instead, you add metal element again, same as for the number 2 star. That also applies to the number 5 star in the center. So this is where you put your metal ornaments. And so you have 2 places for your metal ornaments this year, the center area and the southwest area, or your metal home decor. Wearing gold jewelry also helps to protect you from the misfortune star. And everybody should really carry this amulet. It's called the Heart Sutra Pagoda amulet. So everybody, you know, would benefit from carrying that for protection, but especially the earth animal signs, which are dog, dragon, ox, and sheep. So those 4 especially should carry this amulet. And then there are also a couple of cures that you can place there in your center area. There is this plate with the 6 celestial animals. It's called the Supremacy of Heaven Energy plate. And that is basically symbolizes the celestial energy, heaven energy, controlling the harmful earth energy of the number 5 star. So heaven is stronger than earth, basically, is what you know, this symbol is trying to tell us, or what this is symbolically means. Or there is a Heart Sutra Pagoda, this one here, which you can place in your center for this year. Another really very strong symbol is the double dorje, which dates back to the old Tibetan Buddhism. It's described as the tool of the gods. And that means, so it must be very, very powerful. If even the gods use it, you know, that it's really a very powerful thing. It is said that the double dorje can destroy everything, but remains indestructible itself. So that means quite something. And it's believed to protect against physical dangers, like accidents, or, you know, all sorts of physical dangers, and also from spiritual harm. So this is another symbol you can use. This is a tassel. It has a long tassel attached. So you could either hang this in your center on the wall, or if you have a cabinet there, you can hang this on your cabinet, which is also very helpful. And the last star is the burglary star number 7, and that flies into the west this year. This is a violent star, and it brings the danger of burglary, robbery, break-ins into your home, theft, pickpockets. Even if you're out, you know, you might get mugged, violence, accidents, even financial losses, and also betrayal and cheating. It affects people born in the year of the rooster, because the rooster lives in the west. So if you're a rooster, please be very careful who you trust. Don't trust everybody, especially if new people or new friends come into your life. Be very wary, because you know that you are at an increased danger of being cheated this year. It also affects the youngest daughter of the family. And if your home faces west, or if your door faces west, make sure, you know, you lock it well at night, or when you're away, or if you have an alarm system, you know, make sure your alarm system is working properly, you know, have it serviced, make sure it's working, because again, then there's an increased danger. If you live in a west facing house, or your door is in a west, there's an increased danger for break-ins. Again, you want to subdue the number 7 star, and here you remove metal elements. Like in other places you add metal elements, here you remove the metal elements, because the number 7 star belongs to metal element. So here you don't want any of your metal ornaments. Take them away from the west and place them to the southwest or the center instead. And as for Feng Shui cures, we have the armored elephant and rhino. The blue elephant and rhino has, again, for a very, very long time been the chosen protectors for the number 7 star. And to me, that just shows that the people who've started using symbols with their Feng Shui how much they were afraid almost of the number 7 star, because they chose the biggest animals known to man as their protector. So that just shows something, you know, like how strong the number 7 star can be. So protect your home with the blue elephant and rhino, or there is also this protection tablet called anti-robbery protection tablet, which you can hang above the door, or you can place it on a cabinet facing your main door. There is also a thing called the evil eye. It's like a round blue eye. It comes like from the Middle East. That's another very good protector, you know, for your home, for your entrance. And the recommended amulets are, there is always an elephant and rhino amulet. This is the new version for this year. There is a 9-dragon Quan Kung amulet, which is this one. Quan Kung is one of the famous warrior gods, and he is usually pictured with a red face. This is Quan Kung as well. This is the anti-cheating amulet with Quan Kung. He is usually pictured with a red face to make him even more formidable, because he can get very angry, and he will protect you. So he's got a red face because he's very angry and staring. So yeah, so these are the amulets you can carry, especially if you're a rooster, or if you know, if your bedroom's in the west, which is when you are exposed to the danger a lot of the time. There is also an anti-burglary lumitile, which is this one. If you have like a smaller west space, if your entrance area, maybe you have a small entrance lobby, if that's in the west, you know, for a small area, this will suffice. Or if your office is in the west, this is actually great, because you can put this on your desk and it will protect you if you have it on your desk. And then there is a sticker. This one here is a sticker, so which you can stick attached to your west windows. Or if you drive a lot, if you drive to work every day, or especially if you're a rooster and you drive to work every day, or if you go and, you know, drive your children to school, pick them up from school every day, then you can even stick this. You want to consider sticking this in your car window, because the number 7 star can also bring accidents or even road rage. You can also use something blue. Water is the element that will weaken the number 7 star. So here we work with the elements again, but it needs to be something soft. Don't overdo it. Don't just paint the whole wall blue. You know, you don't want too much, because too much blue can actually also cause damage to the west sector, which you don't want. But some blue would really work very well. So I've shown as an example this pale blue cabinet. So if you have a blue piece of furniture, something that's pale, or even a blue picture. Here is another example for a blue picture. It has water, but the water needs to be still. You don't want a picture of waves, you know, or moving water, because moving water is for activation. In this case, you want still water. You want it to absorb the negative energy. And that was all the bad stars. But here we have, there's 2 more afflictions I just need to mention briefly. The first one is the Tai Sui, which is the god of the year. Now, the Tai Sui brings misfortune to anyone who confronts him or who disturbs him. Now, every year there's a new Tai Sui, and the Tai Sui is actually based on a person who existed thousands of years ago, you know, back in the very old Chinese times. So every year the Tai Sui changes. And this year, in 2022, General He Yi, I'm not pronouncing this right because I don't speak Chinese, so you'll have to excuse me. But anyway, he's the Tai Sui for the year. And he was born in the Yuan dynasty, and he was an administrator and a military leader in the emperor's service. Most of these Tai Suis have had a brilliant military career. And for one thing or another that they did is they became famous in history, in the Chinese history. And this is why they are now being used as the honorary Tai Sui. The Tai Sui basically oversees what's happening, you know, the happenings on the earth, and he wants to just do this quietly, and he wants people to respect him, and he doesn't want to be disturbed. So this is why you should keep the place of the Tai Sui quiet so that you don't disturb his peace. And you should also not face the Tai Sui. Now this year, the Tai Sui lives in the Northeast 3. He shares the space with the tiger. The Tai Sui always shares the space with the animal of the year. So you shouldn't face Northeast, even if it's one of your good directions. If you know your good directions, you should not face Northeast, because that could cause the Tai Sui to become angry, and then he might punish you with bringing bad luck or throwing obstacles in your path. So keep the Northeast quiet and don't face Northeast for this year. And don't carry out any renovations in your Northeast. No drilling, no digging, and no knocking. Sometimes it could even be too much if you bang a nail into the wall, you know, to hang up a picture. That could already upset the Tai Sui. So instead, you need to appease the Tai Sui. You want to appease him, you want to respect him, and then he will support you, which is a good thing. So each year there is a new Tai Sui plaque, because it needs to have the picture of the current Tai Sui. You can't use last year's, unfortunately. So you hang this plaque, or you can place this plaque in your Northeast. And then there is also an amulet, which I didn't picture. But those of you who are born in the years of the tiger, the snake and the monkey and the boar, they should carry a Tai Sui talisman or a Tai Sui amulet. Now this one is a Tai Sui card, which will fit into your purse or into your wallet, which I find very useful, because I'm carrying a handful of amulets already. So if I can save one amulet and have this card in my wallet instead, you know, that works really well for me. But there is also an amulet for those who prefer that. So especially the tiger, because sharing the space with the Tai Sui, you're very close. So it's very easy to accidentally, you know, nudge him or get in the way of the Tai Sui. So the tiger definitely should carry a Tai Sui amulet, and also the snake and the monkey and the boar, because of their location in the zodiac circle. The monkey lives opposite the Tai Sui, so the monkey is facing the Tai Sui, which he shouldn't do. So he needs to appease the Tai Sui, and the snake and the boar are on the side of the Tai Sui. And if your bedroom or your main door is in the Northeast, there's also higher chances that you will aggravate the Tai Sui simply by your presence in the bedroom, or when you're, you know, opening the door, you know, going in and out of your house all day, or even slamming the door, could upset the Tai Sui. So those of you in that situation should carry a Tai Sui amulet or one of the cards. To appease the Tai Sui, you could also use a piao. This is a pair of piao instead of the Tai Sui plaque I showed you before, because the piao is one of the celestial creatures, and it's the favorite pet of the Tai Sui. So if he sees that you have the piao in your home, in his location, most of all, that will appease him, and that will put him in a good mood. The other annual affliction is the 3 killings. That sounds quite ominous, and it can be, because the 3 killings bring you 3 types of bad luck. The loss of your good name or your reputation, the loss of an important relationship, or loss of money or your income. And the 3 killings always fly to the cardinal direction. So that's the 4 main directions: north, east, south, and west. So they can take up a big chunk of your home. So again, you should keep that area quiet. Don't have any house repairs or renovations in the location of the 3 killings. And this year, the 3 killings fly into the north. So keep your north area quiet and don't do any renovations there. Really, it's amazing. A lot of Chinese people or Chinese background people, they really follow, especially with regard to renovations. They wait for the right year until they renovate their house, so that they don't upset the Tai Sui and that they don't aggravate the 3 killings. And also some of the bad stars, especially the misfortune stars. You want to protect yourself against the 3 killings. The main thing to know is never have your back to the 3 killings. So in this case, it means don't face south, because if you're facing south, you're exposing your back to the north. So you're leaving yourself exposed to the 3 killings, which is almost like an invitation to be stabbed in the back. So you don't want to do that. And in addition, you should place a cure in the north of your home and possibly also in the north of your office. So this year's cure is this 3 killings protection shield. And there is also an amulet here that I'm showing you, which is the 3 killings protection amulet. Especially if you're born in the year of the rat, you should carry that amulet to be on the safe side. Right, and now we can look at the positive sectors. Finally, we look at the areas that we want to enhance this year. Now, if you excuse me, just let me have a drink of water. Do we have any questions? Sorry, I kept going on and on and on, but are there any questions at all?
Oh, actually, Lucy, we have a lot of questions. I don't know if we should take it now or we should do it later.
If it's related to what I've just explained, then we might as well take them now, if you think that's okay.
Yeah, I think there's a few who, I think maybe perhaps that's a good idea because, you know, you just spoken about them and it's fairly fresh in our memory. So let's go back to when you were talking about, let me just scroll down here for the questions. When you were talking about, for example, the elephants that would protect you in the room. So one lady was asking if porcelain elephants are good enough to use.
It depends. If they are blue, then I would say yes. If they are not, then it's borderline. You could try. One thing to look out for with elephants, I know elephants are actually also a very popular symbol, especially here in Asia, which is nice. The thing about elephants, you need to have a look. If the trunk is upwards, then you can use the elephant for protection. But if the trunk is downwards, then it has a different symbolism. An elephant with a trunk down is usually used to increase your fertility luck.
Oh, right. So if I don't want that.
So if it's an elephant that has a trunk up, then yes, you can use that.
Okay.
And if it's blue, even better.
Okay, right. Trunk up and blue. That's great. Yeah. And then another one is when you said people affected by the numbers, does that mean for people that spend more time in that particular room?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Perfect.
So that as well, yes. The animal signs, the family member, and also, if you spend a lot of time in that particular room, then yes, because you spend a lot of time there, so you're exposing yourself to the danger.
Okay. And another question about staircase. What if a staircase is in the west? How does that impact?
That's not so bad, I would say, because you're not spending that much time there, so that's an advantage. I would still place a cure though. It doesn't have to be an elephant. In a staircase, it could just be, have some blue pictures in your stairs. So you want to have some calm water energy still to calm down the energy there, or the elements,
Okay, so you have like a little kind of water element. Another one is plants in east balcony. Is that an issue or only relevant for indoor home spaces?
That's a good one. It depends. It depends. For example, if the balcony sticks out, like in the old days, old days when I was young, I think, here I've been in Singapore for a long time, and I think, at least I notice in Singapore, when you see new condos coming up, I think like each era has some sort of, there's a characteristic. You can tell when you look at a building, it's new, it's from the 2000s onwards, or it's like from the 80s or from the 60s. You can tell. So when I'm saying in the old days, when I was younger, or when I was growing up, especially in Germany, balconies used to stick out. So it was a balcony that was sticking out. So if you have a balcony that basically sticks out of your home, so you have your home and you have a balcony that's sticking out, then it's not so bad. You can leave the plants there. But if the balcony is like, takes up some space inside your home, then it is considered your east sector. So then you need to be careful. Like the floor plan I showed at the beginning, remember the terrace, that little corner? So if it's a balcony like that, you know, then you need to be careful, and then it's better to remove the plants, or at least most of them, and just keep one if you want to keep one.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. Another one is talking about renovations. This can be a long conversation about it.
Okay.
But what if people really have no choice than to renovate this year? Is it better to renovate before Chinese New Year? Actually, that is like Chinese New Year is on the 1st of February, so kind of running out of time. But what if they really have to and have no choice? Can we do something to kind of, you know, say sorry to like the Tai Sui, or just or wait, or just live in a half renovated house?
Yeah, it's tricky. It can be tricky. It can be very tricky. I had a client who asked me the same thing once, and I actually looked up the position of the Tai Sui and the number 5, the misfortune star, for like 3 years planning ahead. And it really is tricky because there is, you know, quite more than one thing to consider. So ideally, if you can do it before Chinese New Year, would be great. Having said that, this year, this current year, in the year of the ox where we still are, the Tai Sui is also in the northeast. The northeast has 2 subdirections. So the Tai Sui is still a problem now, and it will continue to be an issue next year. But what you can do, if you can't help it, a lot of the time, if it's an overall renovation, start in one of the better sectors. Definitely in one of the sectors that is not afflicted. And if you're starting this year before Chinese New Year, you need to look at this year's chart. And then you move along with your renovations and end in a different sector as well. So just don't start and don't end in the location of the Tai Sui or where the 5 yellow, the number 5 star is located.
Okay, maybe Daliana can actually direct message you and ask you more questions about that later. Another quick question. I have a coffee machine in the northeast corner that gets used every day. Is that a bad thing, or should I move it? Should she move it?
If it's easy enough to move it, you could. It might make things easier. If it's a quiet coffee machine, it's not so bad. My brother used to have a coffee machine where you actually put in the coffee beans and it would grind the beans first. So you definitely don't want one of those because that's very noisy. But if you can move it, I would move it. Especially if it's used a lot. If it's just one coffee in the morning, you know, that's all right. But if it's used, you know, throughout the day, I would move it if you can.
Okay. But like, if it's, yeah, okay. So if it's just like a small coffee machine, then it's okay. If it's like a big, you know, industrial one, like a lot of people, like your brothers.
Or one that, you know, that puffs out the smoke, you know, so something puffs out the milk. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I'm not too familiar with coffee machines, but I think you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, another one quickly as well. Amulets. What do we do with the ones that are from last year? Do we discard it, or can they be recycled to another year? Do we keep them?
You look at them, you check if they are still in good condition. If they are still in good condition, there is no reason to discard them. Ideally, there's 2 arguments. You can say a new amulet obviously is stronger because it's new, but I must admit I carry amulets from last year, even the year before, if they are still in good condition. You just check that they are still, you know, good, that they don't have any scratches or that they haven't started going rusty, which can sometimes happen in the Singapore climate. So if they are in good condition, you can reuse them, but you should cleanse them and you should re-energize them. And then basically you energize them with new power so that they can protect you again or enhance your luck again for another year.
Okay, that's a good tip. I'll let you continue your presentation because I will take up the second part of the questions once you're finished with the rest of your presentation, Lucy.
Okay, great. And also, I mean, if you have any questions later, you know, any of you who are watching, if you have any questions later, you can also always email me if you like. And I will answer your questions by email as well. Okay, right. So the sectors to be enhanced. Now we're looking at the black numbers, the black stars. And we are starting with the number 1. The number 1 is the victory star, and that flies in the north, into the north this year. It brings victory luck and success in competitive situations. Now that's any competitive situation, you know, you can find yourself in. If you're applying for new jobs, you know, you're competing with other applicants, or if you want to get a promotion, you're in competition with other colleagues who might want to get the same promotion. So in any kind of competitive situation, the number 1 star can help you win the race or win the competition. And it's a great sign really to have the number 1 star in the north this year. It really helps everyone who has career goals, everyone who wants to get ahead in their career. It's a great advantage to have the number 1 star here, because you can activate that and it will help you in your career advancement. It will improve your chances for recognition and success at work, because the north sector is connected to your career luck. So this is really great for anyone who has ambitions, you know, professional ambitions. Now the number 1 star favors the people who are born in the year of the rabbit, because the rabbit is the one who lives in the north, and also the middle sun. Now you definitely want to activate the number 1 star. So it's important that you don't have any clutter in your north. Clutter is a dangerous thing. I mean, clutter is never good, no matter where it is. Clutter creates negative energy. You put something there and you leave it there. It doesn't move. And then you add something else and you add something else, and that becomes clutter. And in the end, it becomes a whole pile of negative energy. It stagnates. Stagnating energy is negative. And good energy is not attracted to negative spaces, like to cluttered spaces. So you want to clear the clutter, if there is any. Sorry, I'm not assuming, but so check your north areas. Just make sure that there is no clutter and keep it neat and tidy. And then, you know, that will invite the positive energy even more. A water feature is great, is really, really, really great for the number 1 star and also for the north. So again, it's a great combination to have the number 1 star in the north, because we have no conflict of the elements. The north belongs to the water element and the number 1 star belongs to the water element. So having even if it's just a small water fountain, will help, you know, activate both your career luck and your victory luck. So this is really a fantastic opportunity. And if your bedroom is in the north, for example, you don't put the water feature in the bedroom, you put it in the north corner of your living room instead, or your dining room. Now, if you want to use a Feng Shui activator, you can do so. You can do both. You can use, you know, elements and a water feature and, you know, a Feng Shui activator. Just don't go overboard. Everything should be, you know, in relation to the space. But if you are interested, the Feng Shui activators, this is the sky horse with a flag of success, here the flag. And there is also a victory banner, this one featuring the rising phoenix. Now the rising phoenix is also one of the very popular symbols in Feng Shui, because the phoenix rises from the ashes. It rises from nothing and rises in all its beauty and its glory. So even from nothing, you know, you can make something out of nothing. You can rise above, you know, the problems and the obstacles, and you can achieve something. So that's the symbolism of the phoenix. That's why it's often used in that connection. Of course, you can carry an amulet if you want to boost your victory luck when you're outside of your home. Yeah, you know, you should, you want to activate your home, because this is where you spend a lot of your time. But if you go to work, some of us are, you know, back at work, then when you're outside your home, this is where the amulets come in. Especially those animal signs who have weak success luck this year. That's the rat, tiger, dragon, horse, the monkey, and the dog. Those animals have weak success luck. So for them, it would be really good to activate the #1 star in their home and also to carry an amulet. So there's the sky horse amulet, which is this one here. There is also a flag of victory amulet, which is the red one that shows the victory flag from last year. And there is a wind horse lumi tile, which is wind horse and sky horse. It's two names for the same thing, really. And the wind horse is, again, a very, very popular symbol. It's a very old symbol that goes back to the Tibetan Buddhism. It's very potent for basically anyone whose goal is career success, especially this year. The wind horse will activate your personal success luck. It will attract recognition and promotion luck, and it will also boost your motivation so that you keep going throughout the year. Because, I mean, the promotion might not come straight away. You know, we're only at the beginning of the year, and the year has 12 months. So the wind horse will also strengthen your inner force, and it'll boost your motivation to keep going. That's why the horse is very often also used as a symbol, because of its endurance. The horse runs the race, and the horse keeps running, and it wants to win the race. The next one, we have the Romance and the Scholastic Star, #4, and that flies into the southeast. Now that star brings love and romance and also marriage opportunities, but also married couples or couples in a relationship can activate the #4 star if they want to strengthen their relationship and to strengthen their loving bond. It's also great for students of all ages, not just for school children or uni students. It's also if any adults, you know, are taking on any studies or any, you know, further education. It's also great, you know, you can activate the #4 star in the southeast. It's great for those of you who are born in the years of the dragon and the snake, and also the oldest daughter will particularly favor feel the positive energy. Now, if you want to activate that #4 star for love and romance, you can place a symbol in your southeast, for example, a pair of mandarin ducks. I mean, that's one of them very popular symbols, even when I lived in London back in the days when I was young, way before children. Mandarin ducks were already around, you know, as a symbol for marriage luck and happy marriage and happy relationship. So you can use that. Another one is a double happiness symbol, which comes in many different ways. I've given you a picture here of a double happiness tassel, which is one of my favorites. I like those. The double happiness symbol is a very common present wedding gift in the Chinese culture. So you will find it like it can be painted on a vase or on a painted plate or just a picture, many, many different forms. So you can use whatever, you know, you prefer, whatever you fancy. There's a marriage lock, which is this one. It's a little ornament with a stand, and that features the phoenix and the dragon. Again, that's the magic couple to keep your relationship strong and to keep your loving bond strong. The phoenix and the dragon are the ideal couple in the Chinese mythology. Or if you are single and you're looking for a new romance, a new partner, then you can use this romance lock here, this pink one. And this is a 9-tailed fox, which is the symbol to attract a new love into your life. And another good Feng Shui tip is in your southeast, if you want to activate the #4 star for romance luck, any ornaments or any decoration you place there, place it in pairs, in twos, to represent the couple. Don't place single items there. So for example, you can place two candlesticks or 2 tea light holders or 2 pictures, or, you know, whatever ornament you have there, place them in a pair. That's another good tip. And if you want to activate your peach blossom luck, now this again, this is for the singles out there. Peach blossom luck is the Feng Shui term for activating your love and romance luck, for finding a new romance, finding a new partner. There are the 4 peach blossom animals, and depending on your animal sign, you want to use the right peach blossom animal. So the horse here is the peach blossom animal for the ox, snake, and rooster. So if you're ox, snake, or rooster, you can either carry the horse amulet, or you can have a figure of a horse and place that in your own animal location. Now the horse is red because the horse lives in the south, and the south belongs to the fire element. So this is why it's red in color. So ideally you want to pick a red horse. The rat, this one is the rat, is the peach blossom animal for the rabbit, the sheep, and the boar. The rabbit is the peach blossom animal for the tiger, the horse, and the dog. And the last one here, we have the rooster, is the peach blossom animal for the rat, the dragon, and the monkey. So this is what you can use to activate your love and romance luck. And I've seen it happen, actually. My brother-in-law, back in the days when I first started my business, my brother-in-law in the UK, he bought a house and renovated his house, and he was single, and he was one of my guinea pigs, my Feng Shui guinea pigs in my early days. And he was a snake. Oh, he still is a snake. He's born in the year of the snake. So I sent him a small figure of a red horse, and I told him to place that in the southeast. And I swear, I promise you, it worked. He met a nice girl later, and 2 or 3 years later, they got married, and they're still married to this day. So I've really seen it work, which is nice. You can also, of course, activate the number 4 star for study luck, for your educational luck. And here, especially if you're going to uni or going to school, you can carry an amulet, which is the dragon carp amulet. Here, that's the new amulet for this year. Or there is also the scholastic amulet that has some symbols to boost study luck. And then there is this little plaque, the dragon carp with a 3-legged toad plaque, which you can either place in the southeast, or you can also put that on your study desk. Now I like this, actually, this is quite nice, I think, the dragon carp. And I like the story. It's basically, it shows the carp, which is a humble fish, which transforms into the mighty dragon. And that is the symbol of the successful culmination of the period of study and hard work. When at the end you sit your exams and you get good grades in your exams. So you transform, from a humble fish into a mighty dragon. So that's the symbolism behind it. There's so much symbolism in Feng Shui. It's some of it is really quite touching, I find. Then we have the number 6 star. The next one is the heaven star, and that flies into the northwest. Now again, the number 6 star, it's a fantastic star. I mean, heaven luck is basically all the good things in your life. It brings divine blessings, it brings a helping hand, out of nowhere when you need it. It brings mental luck, and it can also bring financial windfalls. So it's really just all the good things that can happen in your life, when you get unexpected help, or you can get an unexpected bonus, for example, or you could win the lottery, or just any, a windfall that surprises you. This can all be, part of your heaven luck. That's why I think the number 6 star to me is almost more important than the red star, because, there's so many different types of, good luck and good fortune. So the number 6 star benefits the patriarch. That's the father of the family. And this is excellent. It's really excellent this year, because if the father of the family does well, the whole family will do well, because he's the one, well, in most cases, provides for the family. So if the patriarch does well, the family will benefit, which is great. It also favors the dog and the boar. And if you have your bedroom or your home office in the northwest, it's very good for you, because that means you're spending a lot of time in this auspicious sector where you can benefit and you can, absorb the positive energy and the heaven luck that's in this area. You definitely want to activate that. I always recommend to my clients to activate the Heaven Star. You want to look at your northwest sector, just check that there is no clutter, and because you want it to be inviting the space, you want to invite the good energy, you want it to come and stay, and you want to add metal element. So with the negative stars, we remove certain elements that will make the negative star stronger. We remove those. Here with the positive stars, we want to add the element of the actual star. So the number 6 star is a metal element star. And so you want to add more metal to strengthen the good energy there. So again, if you have any metal ornaments, so that's another good place for your metal ornaments. You take them away from the west because you don't want it in the west, and place it in the northwest instead to activate, or in the other 2 areas to subdue. So you can, every year, you know, I have some ornaments in my house that I move around every year. So it's good to look at your home, look at your decorative things, even some pictures, you know, that you can just rehang and hang them to a different spot every year. Now, wind chimes, metal wind chimes are great activators for the number 6 star, especially if they have 6 tubes. And if you want to use a Feng Shui wind chime, we have this one here is the heavenly wind chime to activate the heaven luck, you know, the blessings from heaven. Or we have the Jade Emperor wind chime, which is this blue one here, to help bring helpful people or bring a new mentor into your life. This could be someone who can open a new door for you. You know, this is very good. Maybe, you know, sometimes you can't get things done on your own. Sometimes it's really all you need is someone to just open a new door for you. So, or a mentor, someone who gives you a new idea, even, oh, why don't you do it this way? You know, a new mentor, someone who supports you. So this is the one, the Jade Emperor, to activate the mentor luck. And then there's here, this one is the Jade Emperor amulet. Also highly recommended if you want to activate the number 6 star, especially if you're a dog or a boar, or you just need some help. You can also, if you go to meetings, you know, you can carry this in your pocket, and hopefully the right people will be on your side, you know, during that meeting when you do your pitch. This is the Golden Earth Dragon. This is another activator for the number 6 star. Now, the dragon is always one of the most popular and one of the favorite Feng Shui symbols. And this is the new dragon for this year to activate the number 6 star. This dragon unifies the heaven and earth energy to bring you this wonderful abundance that the heaven star can bring. These are another couple of suggestions. You could also just use like metal wall ornaments. I'm seeing this more and more in my clients' home when I say activate, you know, with metal elements. So they choose some metal, you know, some wall ornaments like that for their northwest wall, or sometimes in other situations. Or the mystic knot, this one here. These are mystic knot tassels. The mystic knot is another very old Feng Shui symbol. It's also called the endless knot. There's no beginning and no end. It just represents continuous good luck and good fortune. It's an all-round good luck symbol. And the tassels come in different colors, so you can pick your favorite. It's one of my favorites too. I find it very classic. It's a bit Asian, but still it's modern, you know, at the same time, you know, it doesn't match any decor. I don't want to turn your home into a Chinese museum or something with all these Feng Shui ornaments. And then we have the Wealth and Prosperity Star number 8, and that flies into the northeast. So this is the most auspicious star of all the good stars. It attracts wonderful wealth luck. I'm sure we've all heard wealth, good wealth. Feng Shui is good for good wealth, yes. Also abundance and good fortune and prosperity. So this is really the second question I get asked most. Most people, or most of my clients, the first concern is usually health. They want to make sure they stay healthy and protect their family. And then how can I make more money? So you want to activate the number 8 star. This year, it favors the people born in the years of the ox and the tiger. and also the youngest son. And if your house faces northeast, then of course it's good for you. It's very good for you. You should open your windows every morning or every day to invite in, you know, the prosperity energy, invite that into your home. Or if your main door is in the northeast, that's also excellent. You know, whenever you come home or open the door, you know, you invite the prosperity energy into your home. We definitely want to activate the number 8 star. We can all do with a bit more money. Movement and activity is usually a great activator. So just by your sheer presence in wherever you are, you activate the energy, because you're there, you're a living being, you activate the energy. This year though, you need to be careful with the number 8 star, keep the noise down. You can have activities in the northeast, but try and keep it quiet, because remember the Tai Sui is in the northeast as well. So you don't want to be too noisy with your activation. But bright lights is a good idea. You can place a lamp or a light in your northeast. If your main door is in the northeast, I would say leave the light. Usually you have a light outside your main door. Definitely leave that on during the night this year to just activate, you know, the good energy. And as a Feng Shui symbol, you will see this a lot this year. Not just one tiger, but actually 3 tigers with wealth gods as wealth symbol for this coming tiger year, because we actually have 3 tigers in the chart of the year. So this is why you will see 3 tigers a lot and not just 1 tiger. Remember, the tiger is a wild animal. It's the dangerous animal amongst the zodiac animals. So there is a certain element of danger to this year, being the tiger year. No matter how tame you think the tiger could be, but there's always an element of danger, of surprise. And this is why the wealth activator, it shows the wealth gods sitting on the tigers. They are taming the tigers, and they are controlling the tigers to bring the wealth luck into your home with the tigers. There are other popular wealth enhancers. There is the 100 Blessings Energetic Deer, which is this one here. It's a young deer, young and full of energy, and it carries a pak choi here. This is a pak choi on the back. Now this is again, I think some people also call it Chinese cabbage. It's also it's a very old Feng Shui symbol, a bit of an unusual one, I think, but it basically represents 100 years of wealth and blessings, the pak choi. So this is why the young deer, full of energy and carrying 100 years of wealth and blessings into your home. So this is a good activator for the office to signify the company or the business prosperity, growing and growing. Company and business prosperity, to grow and get bigger. There is also the activating prosperity tree, this one. You can also call it a wealth tree. Lillian too loves wealth trees. Every year she designs a new wealth tree. I think they're actually quite pretty too. This one has 8 auspicious symbols hanging here. So these are all auspicious wealth symbols in this year's wealth tree. Or we have up there above the sacred resource cow, which is also full of auspicious symbols, wealth bringing symbols. And the symbolism of the sacred resource cow is this: the cow will attract prosperity luck, but it will also, because the cow is a very hardworking animal and it's used by humans to plow the fields where you can grow your crop traditionally. So it's got still this, attachment of being a hardworking, docile animal, which helps you grow the resources you need for your life. And this is why the cow is used this year also as an activator for wealth, and it's called the resource cow, because this year's chart, actually the resources and creativity are missing in the year's chart. So that becomes very important, right? And so this cow will provide the resources you need to generate the prosperity you want to activate. And so this one you can place anywhere in your home. Sorry, that was a bit of a long-winded explanation, but it's just sometimes I find it interesting to know the symbolism, the thinking behind the ornaments or the symbols. Of course, you can carry a wealth amulet if you want to activate your wealth luck. There is the 100 Blessings Energetic Deer amulet on the top, and also Sacred Resource Cow amulet, which is this round one here. And we also have a Dakini Wealth Piyao amulet. This is the Piyao, which is also associated with wealth luck, one of the wealth-bringing celestial creatures. I always encourage my clients to be creative with their feng shui, and I also try to be creative with my suggestions. So you can also, you don't just need to carry the amulets, you can also use them in your home decor. So I found this pretty basket, and I have attached the wealth cow amulet here, the resource cow. So for example, but it needs to make sense. I mean, don't just plonk it there, you know, it needs to make sense to you. So I was thinking with this basket, for example, if there's anything in particular that you want to create wealth for you, you know, a source for you, or a source of wealth for yourself. For example, if you're a business, or you are an influencer, or you are a popular person and you want to be featured in a certain magazine, you could use a basket, for example. You can put the magazines that you want to be featured in, put that in a basket, and then you add your wealth amulet to symbolically activate that to bring you wealth this year. And so this is just, you know, an example to try and show you how you can be creative with your feng shui. And then the last star is the number 9 star, which is the star of future prosperity, and that flies into the south. Now the number 9 star is becoming increasingly important, and it's becoming stronger and stronger because we are actually coming very close to the period 9. You need to know that we are counting in feng shui, we are counting in 20-year time blocks. So each time block consists of 20 years. So at the moment we are in period 8, our current time period, which started in 2004 and lasts for 20 years. So on the 4th of February 2024, we will enter period 9, which is very soon. So this is why the number 9 star is growing in strength and becoming more important, because where once period 9 starts, there will be a huge shift in energy, and all the charts will change in period 9. So it's becoming more important, the number 9 star of future prosperity, because also your future is coming closer, it's coming nearer to you. The number 9 star is also called the star of completion, which is great because it can help you, which is great, which means you can use it if you're working on projects, you know, if you have projects that are important and you kind of get stuck. Some of these things, some of your projects just, you know, it just doesn't flow very well. There's always one difficulty or another obstacle. So you can use the number 9 star to help you finish those projects successfully, or any projects, you know, that you're working on to complete that successfully. And the number 9 star is also called a multiplying star. So whichever sector it flies into, it will multiply the luck that is already there in your home. So like I said, the number 9 star brings opportunities for future wealth. So if you plan ahead for your future career, future wealth can be a pay rise, it can be your pension if you're planning for retirement, or a profitable sale of something, you know, in the future. So this is where the number 9 star can help you. It also helps you, particularly this year, with recognition luck and with completion luck. And it favors those born in the year of the horse and the middle daughter. So if you are, again, if you spend a lot of time in your south, if your home office is in the south, for example, you can particularly, you know, take advantage of the number 9 star and plan ahead for your future, and actually make some decisions now already concerning your future, because the number 9 star will help you become reality. So now to activate the number 9 star, there are horses this year because the horse is the animal that lives in the south and the number 9 star flies into the south. So we use the animal of the sector as the activating symbol. Right, Lillian too loves horses. So she's even gone all out and created this herd of 9 splendid horses in different colors and different positions. They are called the 9 rainbow horses. Each horse symbolizes a different characteristic of the horse, like for example, courage, speed, endurance, loyalty, and so on. So this is why there are 9 different horses. So you can place the whole set into your south sector if you are also a horse-loving person. Or there is this heavenly completion horse, which is this one, which is, I find, quite cute and is actually quite unusual because I've never seen a horse sit down. Again, here we have the sitting position symbolizes that you are actually now in a state of enjoying the fruits of your labor. You've worked very hard, you've achieved your goal and your future, for your future, you've achieved it. Now you can sit down and relax and you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. So this is why there's a sitting horse this year as a symbol to activate the number 9 star. So by displaying this sitting horse, it symbolically brings forward your future prosperity because it shows you that you're actually already there. So, it's your plans, your future prosperity is already coming closer to you, and it'll help speed up, the coming closer, the actualization of your good fortune. And this blue ornament, this is a teapot, also featuring the completion horse. It's sitting down. So this is a very ornate teapot. It's for decoration only or for symbolism only. It's not to be used. But with this ornate teapot, you can symbolically offer tea to the emperor. It's pretty enough to offer tea to someone as high as an emperor. And it basically just signifies everything going well. Because like I said, it's got the sitting horse. You're already there. You've already achieved your future prosperity. So you can go and have tea with the emperor. Right, so this is now we've reached the end. This is the last one of the positive stars. I'm happy to answer more questions, but before you go away, I just wanted to show you or tell you, while I've got your attention, I wanted to tell you about my special offer. For 3 days, starting today, I'm offering 25% discount on all the new amulets for 2022 for online orders. I have there's an online shop or on my website. So please go there and order your amulets you would like. And at the checkout, you need to put the code TIGER2022, and then it will apply the 25% discount. Now I have more amulets coming soon. I don't have all of them just yet. So if there's something you don't find, I don't have, then please place your order anyway to ensure you get the discount and send me an email with what else you're looking for, and I'll see if I can get that for you and I can add that to your order. Okay, and so that was that. So thank you all for joining, and I'm open to questions.
Yes, we have a few questions for you, Lucy. So let's kind of just rewind back, and someone was asking, like, my building is getting renovated. Do I have any influence in what happens inside? I mean, what do I do with the inside? So would she still follow all the tips that you've said?
So is the building being renovated on the outside then, I suppose?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, you can still follow my recommendations. You can apply your Feng Shui inside in your own apartment. Just be mindful of the location of the actual renovation. I mean, where is it? Which direction? If it's in one of the bad directions, it can cause you harm. So you need some extra protection. Like, for example, if it's in the southwest where we have the illness star, if this is where the renovation takes place, then you need to even strengthen your protection for your good health in your home. As an example, for example, I mean, we had outside our house, our facing direction, they were digging up the road and they were putting all the drains, they were covering all the drains. So they were digging up the drains and then they were covering them, and it was right outside our house. And it was going on, it took like a whole year because they were doing other things as well. It took a really, really long time. And one time, and that was actually where we had the illness star at the time. It's a few years back in my facing direction. And I went out one time, I was barefoot, like you do. I mean, you always walk around barefoot in your house, don't you? So I took some rubbish out and I went out barefoot and I took the rubbish in the bin and I stepped into something because I wasn't looking. There was something, a sharp, a bit of glass on the floor, on the ground, and I stepped on that. And I had this infection on my foot. It wasn't very big, but I had this infection on my foot. I swear, I promise you, I'm not lying. The whole time while these works were going on the outside, and only when the works finished did my infection clear on my foot. So that was just something that I really experienced myself. So with that stuff, that's outside your home, you don't have any control over it, then you need even stronger protection in your home, in that location.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was watching it and I thought it can't really be, I mean, sometimes I'm a bit skeptical myself, and luckily it wasn't too bad. I mean, I could still walk or it wasn't too bad, but the thing, honestly, it was there and it did not heal until the works outside were finished.
Wow. I just want to add, if anyone needs to go, this will be recorded and I will send it to you along with Lucy's details and the website details. So don't worry if you need to go now, because I'm quite conscious of the time. Please do. I will send you the recording once it's ready. And Lucy, just getting back to the questions. Yeah. Now you've mentioned going back to a couple of slides going back, you mentioned like the eldest child and the middle child. What if you only have one child? Does that apply to that child?
Yeah,
all the things that you mentioned.
Yeah, if you only have the one child, then that's your eldest child. So if you only have one girl, one daughter, that's your oldest daughter.
Okay.
And if you have two daughters, you have the oldest daughter and the youngest daughter. You don't have the middle one. Okay, got it. And do you have to apply all of this before Chinese New Year, or you wait till 1st of February? You can apply it now. Ideally, you want to have it all in place by the 1st of February so that you're ready on the 1st of February. But you can also do it later. If you can't get around to it now, then you can, of course, do it anytime. But ideally, you want to have it all in place by the 1st of February. Okay, perfect. That's a good tip. Now, another question. Does the 9-part division of the house have to be to scale to make equal boxes? So, you had the picture of the overall living room and you had them in small boxes. Yeah. Do the scale have to be equal? Well, the division of the 9 scales, they have to be the same size, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And another question is, how do you activate number 4 if all glass and window, if I only have all glass and glass doors and glass windows? Right. So you're saying you don't have any wall where it hangs? Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I would just then maybe place a small side table there and place an ornament on top. Or you can put something on your desk, on your study desk. Well, if it's study luck, but if it's love and romance, if it's for romance luck you're after for the number 4, then you can actually also apply this or activate that in your bedroom. Okay. That would be a good alternative. And if you have a lot of activity in number 8, so how to reduce the influence of noise and activity on number 8 star if it's in the kitchen? Well, that is quite tricky. Yeah, then you want to, because of the Tai Sui, you want to appease the Tai Sui. You want to place a cure there in your kitchen. Even if it's your kitchen, you should always place a cure. You don't necessarily activate something. I wouldn't activate your wealth luck in the kitchen, although it's quite good because you have the fire energy, which will activate the number 8 star. But I would also then activate the number 8 star in your living room for your wealth and prosperity, but appease the Tai Sui in the kitchen.
Okay, that's a good idea. So now I have counted that I now have to have 5 amulets on me.
Okay, good.
How? Now people can hear me all the way when I'm walking. People can hear me from far away because I have done that. I have them all in my bag, and when I walk, it goes cling, 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 cling. Do I have to wear all 5, or can I kind of just choose like the best ones and kind of leave some in my car, because I'm in my car every day?
Right.
Does that count, or does that even work?
Well, I mean, if you're in your car every day, that's good. You can use your car. I guess this is where you can prioritize, you know, what is most important to you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I also carry a whole handful of amulets, I must say. And I change them. If I change my bag, I just change all the amulets. Sometimes I clip one to the outside of the bag and then I have the other ones inside. But this is really where you just need to prioritize, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't want to carry all 5. I know it's a bit much. It's also weight, you know. I mean, my bag's always heavy, even if you have things in it. Yeah.
Okay, I will prioritize. I shall remember that. And also about clutter. What do you do? I suppose this is sort of like a personal thing. You just have to tell the person to just kind of declutter, right? When you mention, when you're saying like, don't have clutter, you just have to be disciplined to kind of just get it all out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops. Sorry,
Oops.
I've done something. Oh.
No, that's okay. You stop sharing and you're back on the big screen.
Oh, okay. I stopped sharing.
Yeah, you can. You can stop
Okay,
sharing
because I
too
don't
if
want
you
you
want.
to see my messy desktop. All right. Okay. Okay. No, I was actually trying. I have this thing there in the middle of our pictures. I wanted to remove that, but anyway, I can't. Okay, so now you just see me. Okay, that's fine too.
No, now I see your whole presentation thingy. So if you stop sharing.
Okay, no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. So just press stop sharing and then you're good. Ah, now I can see myself. Great. Well, I mean, I'm very conscious of time, and this has now taken 1 hour and 45 minutes. So there are a lot more questions, but I am going to email those specific questions to you, Lucy, and then you can either answer back to that specific person, or you can send the answers to me and I'll send it over to them.
Okay.
But as I mentioned, you know, this is recorded, and for those who couldn't make it today, we will send the recording to them. And also, Lucy, you're going to give me the specific link for your website so that people can go there and take advantage of the 20% discount for the amulets.
25.
And 25.
Yeah.
25.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. The code, yeah, Tiger 2022. But I can send you that so that you can inform everybody. Yes.
Yes, most definitely. So I think we've hit the end. Thank you so much, Lucy, for joining us. It's so informative and so interesting, this Feng Shui. I learn so much every year, and every year we all get better and better at it.
You
hopefully,
are, yes.
And hopefully this year, you know, we'll have more luck, and not to talk about COVID, but hopefully COVID will disappear for us. Hopefully.
Yes, touch wood. Yes, I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your afternoon. This is Friday, so happy hour will start very soon for some of us. That's me. Thank you so much, and take care of yourselves. And Lucy, thank you so much again for being with us. I appreciate it.
Too. I mean, thank you too, Susan, and the whole team at Expat Living. I really support, enjoy, you know, appreciate your support. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in. We've had a lot of people tune in today. I'm really grateful, and I'm happy, you know, I'm happy I have such a wonderful audience. So thank you, and yeah, have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and all the best, you know, for the new year.
Thank you so much, Lucy, and thank you, everybody. Take care and stay safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.